In today's lesson, we are going to look at how the plant uses glucose that it makes during photosynthesis. We know that the equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water, as coming up from the roots, goes to make glucose plus oxygen. So just as a quick recap on what we already know and what we covered previously. So we know that sunlight enters through the upper epidermis into the palisade layer where photosynthesis is primarily occurring. We know that the palisade cells have lots of chloroplasts because it's the chloroplasts that carry out photosynthesis. We know that there's a good supply of water moving up from the roots up into the palisade layer through the xylem. We know that carbon dioxide can diffuse into the leaf through these large air spaces into the palisade layer, and oxygen made during photosynthesis can go and diffuse back out. So what we're going to focus on next is what the plant is actually using glucose for. So the plant will go and it uses the glucose that it's made during photosynthesis for a number of different things. So to start off with, it might store the glucose. So it might join lots of glucose molecules together to go and make starch. Right, starch is just a long chain of glucose. It's good for storing things because it's not water soluble. If the plant just left the glucose as glucose every time it rained, all the glucose would get washed away. It can go and convert glucose into lipids, fats and oils. So if you imagine that we've got a seed, for instance, seeds go and contain lots of oils because they're a good store of energy and the plant can utilise that further down the line when it can't carry out as much photosynthesis. It can go and join the glucose together, so lots of them together, to go and make new cell walls. New cell walls are made out of a compound called cellulose. So the cellulose can go make new cell walls which will go and help the plant grow and help support the plant. Probably the most important use of glucose though, in terms of why we need plants, is that they can be converted into amino acids. So if the plant goes and adds nitrate to the glucose, so the nitrates that have been absorbed from the soil, it will go and make amino acids. Lots of these amino acids can go and be joined together to go and make proteins. And proteins are used for an entire range of different things, all the way from carrying stuff around or through cell membranes to going and being more functional. They go and they do things inside of cells. So the first thing that you're going to do, you'll need to go and have a copy of this use of glucose spag activity. I would like you to go through and read it really carefully. After you've read it, go through and see how many spelling errors or grammatical errors that you can spot. After you've done this, you'll have all the information that you need to go and produce something on how plants use glucose. So after you've carried out that spag activity, you will need to go and produce a leaflet that opens up on the uses of glucose by plants. The following short video clip will go and show you how you need to go and construct this. Remember, the key thing is to make it nice and colourful with simple information on the front, leading to more detailed information as you go and move in. Right, so now we've gone through lots of stuff on the uses of glucose. Right, you're going to make something that's going to go and fit into your big plant foldable that we started. So We're going to make something that ends up looking like this. We'll start off sheet of A2, A4 even. You'll fold it over so it opens up like a book. Then there are 6 main areas that plants use glucose for. It uses it for growth, it uses it for respiration, making seeds and fruit, making proteins, making cellulose, and in storage. So on the front you'll go and you'll write all of those. I want some sort of diagram that represents what that particular thing is. Then when it goes and opens up, I want some detail about how the plant is using glucose for that particular thing. So you'll need to use the information that you go and gather.